Like, I'm gonna be real with you, you know. I do believe the children are our future. Um, I think if we teach them well, let them lead the way, and show them all the beauty they possess inside. You understand? Like, give them a sense of pride to make it easier, and let the children's laughter remind us how it used to be until we start talking boxing. I love the young kids of today. They're very different. Um, I do have to fight myself to stay out of the gender war, or not gender war, the age war, with the old school dudes like me intertwining with the young folks and sort of imposing our views and our will and our ways of thinking on young people. But these young people have minds of their own. These young people are very gifted and talented, and they can do a lot more than we could do because we're the ones that taught them. and because some of us had crazy and maybe even shitty upbringings, when we decided to have children, we didn't want our children to have to come up under such a rough premise as we did. But that philosophy, it drips down into boxing too, because boxing is the metaphor of life. This is for most people, this is our lifeline. Boxing, the spirit of it, understanding that you can control your own destiny and just are always one punch away to change your life. Just like real life, you're one great idea away from changing your life for the better. So I'm really impressed with the young fighters today. Devin Haney, I want to talk specifically about this young cat because he did he had an opportunity to beat a champion Kambosos is a decent contender in this era. But let's just be real. If this guy was in the 70s or 80s or even in the 90s, he'd probably have some weird record like 27-8 with 4 draws and something like 8 or 9 knockouts. I mean, this guy is decent, but he was outsized, didn't have the speed, didn't have the punch or the power to keep the bigger kid away. So he lost 2 lopsided decisions, which, it speaks to how weak boxing is now. Because if that had happened in my time, if you get blown out like that, you don't get another opportunity unless you go beat somebody of substance to prove that you should be back there. But because the contracts and the way people do business now, we had 2 boring fights from a guy who's a highly skilled boxer that I am begging to become a prize fighter. And that's the difference between this era of young fighters and how I came up. The reason I can say that Lomachenko should beat Devin Haney is not because of the skill and physical attributes, because from that case, Devin Haney should win easy. But I'm looking at what's going on between the ears and who's been a killer and who's not really even learned how to kill yet. So until Devin Haney gets that education, I can't pick him over Lomachenko at all.